Features of a lot of the bikes that I've done is the shine. So there's the top clamp on the Z900. That is a regular one. I just filed it off. There's the, oh, you can't even see that. Oh well, if you look back through some of the photos, you'll see. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to do it, and it's super simple. It takes time, it takes a heck of a lot of time, but it's free. And look, unless you're going to, what else are you going to do with an afternoon? Invent a cure for baldness? Unless you are doing something really, really worthwhile with your time, you haven't got anything better to do than this. So I'm just going to take a regular fork. It's worth doing because it's straight. Tiny little bit of rust on the top there where it'll never show. I'm looking at this lower fork leg here. We've got a couple of marks in it. It's just regular to good used condition. It's actually pretty good looking at it. A lot of people will go, oh, let's Scotch Brite it to make it like factory original. No, I don't want to. So we're going to get rid of those marks. Now what I'm going to do to start off with is just the tiniest. With one hand. There we go. And these are very light fire. Every time you get a knock in aluminium, it creates a high spot all around it. So all I'm doing here is just getting just rid of some of those high spots. There we go, there's another one. Let's see if you can see it. It sort of shows itself as you do it. Oh, there we go, we've got a mark in that there. Now, I'm not going to be able to get rid of all the marks from it. Well, I am going to be able to, but I'm going to choose not to. All right. I'm going to make these shine and make them look very, very good. Don't worry, it won't roll off. I'm here. Okay, so you get the idea. I'm going to go and get changed now, and then I'm going to grab some wet and dry outside and some warm soapy water. The soap helps it not stick to your fingers quite so much, otherwise your fingers get black. So I'll just continue rubbing that over with a really, really fine file just to get rid of the high spots. And then give it a bit of a rub with, probably starting with about a 600 grade up to a 2000 grade, and that will shine and some for free. I regularly forget to tell you things that I just do as a matter of course, so sorry if it's a bit jumpy. Casting mark. I've just taken one out at the bottom just there, and I'm going to take this one off here. I'm pretending because I've only got one hand and I can't hold this still with the one hand that I'm holding the camera with. But what I've just been doing is just taking out the camera marks, file marks, sorry. Now because of the way files work, obviously you can't get rid of, you can't build metal up, you can only take metal off. So I can't raise these dips, but I can take the metal off from around the side of them, and will do that a little. But yeah, I just wanted to remind you, all the casting marks need to go. Not the best picture in terms of the shade, but here I am outside. Bowl of warm water with washing up liquid in it, and that's not to cut through the grease or anything like that. It just doesn't, it stops the aluminium sticking to your hands quite as much. I don't know why, I don't know how I came across it, but yeah, if you don't put fairy liquid in it, your hands go grey a lot quicker. Now, got loads of different grades of wet and dry here. Now I'm going to start with 600, and the reason being is you've got to take all the marks out that you put into the aluminium. So if you start with 400 and you think, oh okay, let's get this all ragged off early, let's go at it. You'll put marks in, and if you put marks in at 400, you've got to get them out. So I'm starting with 600. Yeah, cars with missing exhausts are popular the world over. So I'm just going to rub it. I always make myself little squares, little square like that of it, and just rub it for a bit. I don't overuse it because it wears out. We've got a bit of an echo there. Bong. Weird sound effect. You can really see, well, I can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but what I can see is where you've got a mark that is a dent in the aluminium, as well as there being a negative divot going into the aluminium, it also pushes up the sides around it. So when you see a little mark in the aluminium, it looks like a little crater in so much as you've got the central bit, but then you get a shadow around it, which is caused by the material that's sticking up. Now I'm happy with this 600 grade. I'm not going to film the whole thing because this just takes forever, but it's a beautiful day. Got the shopping. I got nothing better to do. I ought to say, just in terms of how I developed this, and this is for new restorers and custom builders and that sort of stuff who maybe haven't got the experience. The very first bike I did, I went obsessed with this, and it's because it's free. I just didn't have any money. The first bike I did was when I was 13, 14 years old, and it was a Honda CB200. And believe me, it wasn't cool. I know they're cool now, and put your brown leather seat on and cafe races them. When I was building my CB200 when I was 13, it was a bit of a joke. And at the time, the only bikes that were considered cafe racers were Triumphs, Matchless, Norton, Ariel, and that sort of stuff that would have actually been to a cafe in the 1960s, possibly gone to Brighton, that's done now, possibly gone to Brighton, kicked a mod's head in, or got his head kicked in if he found out it was too many mods. But yeah, I developed the idea of just polishing the crap out of everything because it was free, and the other thing that I liked is that it separated me from the people who couldn't be asked to do it. And there's no buffing wheel, by the way, in my shed. There's no big spinning wheel of fabric that I'm going to use to get this done in half the time. This is not a get this done in half the time bike. If you want that sort of bike, you can buy this when it's done. I imagine it's going to be over 10 grand. But it's going to be over 10 grand because I've been doing the figures today and I think I've spent about 7 grand on it. And I'm not including a penny for doing this. I mean, just in parts, we're looking at about 7 grand. By the time I've spent every Sunday doing this, so that my similar age counterpart could go to the pub or go and play golf or what have you, it's not so that I can give my time away for nothing, just as I wouldn't expect anyone to give theirs away for nothing. So I'm going to switch the camera off now because this is just me rambling. But this is working well, and if you get your head around this, it's just not unpleasant. I can hear the birds, see the blue sky. Right, I'll switch you back on when there's something to see. Hands aren't too grey. That would be a lot worse if there was no soap in there. Don't know why. Probably see from the setting sun I'm close to being done. This is 2000 grade, so this is what you'd normally finish your car paint with. I have just basically listened to tunes and rubbed this all day, and it's cost me nothing. Well, it's cost me the price of these bits of paper. I don't know, 20 bucks. And this still wants a bit of a polish with some auto soft aluminium, not the gold stuff that has got the stuff in, what's the stuff in urine? The stuff in wee that anyway, gold autosol destroys aluminium, makes it look very, very beautiful, and then it destroys it because it's got its base agent is corrosive to aluminium. So although it looks beautiful, it destroys it very quickly. So use silver autosol to finish with. So you can start polishing with your gold autosol, no problem at all. Make sure that you polish it off. You leave gold autosol on, it will destroy your beautiful work. Ammonia is the word that I was looking for. Gold autosol, it does shine very well, and I do use this, but it does contain ammonia. Silver autosol doesn't. Okay, I'm going to do this tonight in front of the TV, but I did just want to show you it shines, because it still looks pretty dull. So you might not be able to think, yeah, no, it's true. He's wasted this afternoon. Very, very fine wire wool. Now this is the very first polish, okay? So, just going to point this light towards me a bit more, so it can get a bit more shine. Okay. Right, here we go. So, I can see marks in this, but making an improvement. So I'm using gold autosol, but it contains ammonia. So I won't leave it on for long. It's all right for a day or so, but it's, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's just not as good as the other stuff. Can't imagine what sorts of faces I pull while I'm polishing. I noticed recently that I seem to have a permanent resting stupid face. Okay, now I'm going to spend the rest of the evening doing this, and I'm not going to record it all for you because it's super dull, but I didn't want you thinking, oh, he's just taken that inside and he's done something or other else with it that's I haven't shown you, so that you might lose faith in me. Now at the end of this, if you want to, you can get some Scotch-Brite and you can return the whole thing to factory finish. If you want to. Now you can do what the heck you like, it's your bike. But I'm not going to, because the factory finish was chosen to hide blemishes, and it does it very well. But this bike is not, in my ownership, having a hard life anymore. This is going to go down, and I should get coffee on it. I should give you the berries. I shall open it up. But in the same way that I don't expect my wife to carry the shopping or do the other things that she was very happy to do once, this bike, I don't know what the kids are playing. Might be playing chicken. So that is first polish. Oh, there we go. You can see it in the shine there. Let's see if I can. Okay. That's not done. That's a few hours. And a few dollars for paper. But I'm very happy with it. I'm going to, I sometimes call my first polish a test polish because I can see bits that I haven't done well enough with the paper, or I can see where I've left some marks in and think to myself, I'll still get the paper out. Go back to, I'll go back to say 800 grade and go get some of those marks out. Or maybe I won't, if it's okay. I'm happy with that. Final shot of the forks. I thought I'd better do it outside because, well, the light's right. So here they are. Well, I say they, it's the one. I've only done the one. See if you can get that so it's reflecting. Now that's not perfect. See, there's some of the marks are still there. You can still see some marks on the front of it there. But take it a little bit further away. And there you are. That's it. Now I've deliberately made it. I've probably gone. Well, I've done it as well as I can, and I haven't started the second one. So I've kind of laid down the gauntlet for myself in that, well, I've got to do the other one to match. So I've deliberately forced myself to do this 80% of the way, maybe 85, it's not perfect. But I've got to do another leg, so it's the truth, I'm going to be over it by the time I've finished the next leg. So I've deliberately just done the 1, 2 fairly high standards to set my own bar fairly high. That's another weekend done, and basically all I did was both forks. So they are not perfect, but are done as much as they're going to be done for this bike. Now, last time we saw the triple clamp, I was filing off the casting marks. I sent it away at the weekend to the vapor blaster. This finish is just vapor blasted. Now, I'd thought about polishing these, but it's fairly pitted, which I actually think it left the factory fairly pitted because, and that's why it was painted. Not quite rough cast, but not polished cast finish. I like the colour. I like the colour of this, so I have just been up to Southern Tool and Fasteners to see Jeff and Helen, and got some stainless bolts and ordered some more for the ones that I'm missing. My legs are going to go into there. I'm going to put this back together just as a system. So I'm just going to put the front end bits and bobs back together to keep them in one place, also so I can call them sort of finished. And these fork legs are also a swine for falling over. You've got to be ever so careful with them. But by the time that they're in the clamp and I've got some handlebars on top, they will be safe. So that will be good. I'll show you when that's done. Bit dark, so you can't see the shine, but you've seen that earlier on in the videos. I'm just showing you now. There they are in the triple clamp with some chrome handlebars on. And I find that that's just the safest way to store them. I'm always finding the darn things rolling around when they're done separately. I hope that was useful.